everything is about money. This is why, just tangentially, here in the U.S., unionism has declined, and people wonder why there's this divide between the wealth. People, I worked about 15, 16 years ago with this woman at AT&T. I worked as a collections representative doing collections for bills for AT&T. There was a woman I worked with, and she was a nice enough woman, but she was dumb as a post. She literally, this was when I was living in Minnesota. Minnesota is a cold northern state in the U.S.
Yeah.
She literally said to me one day, well, I can go without paying my heating and electricity bills, but I can't go without my cable TV. This is the mindset, and this woman had 3 or 4 kids at the time living with her. This is the mindset of most people. People are so solipsistic, so selfish, that they just want this entertainment. They just want content. They want to. I worked a year or more ago as a custodian at a local school when I got fired from the other job that I had mentioned, and I would watch some of these custodians the last 20 or 30 minutes before we go out. They'd be watching these videos about people. There's a show called Jackass. And there are online versions of where people do this, oh, I'm a big fat idiot. I'm going to see if I can drink water from a hose and turn it on full, and this entertains people. I mean, but again, I think it would be disingenuous to believe that it's 100%. I think there are the same percentage-wise intelligent peoples that can appreciate art than that there was 200 years ago. It's just more difficult because the boobs out there, the dummies, the idiots, dwarf us. And I say this to my wife all the time. I say, they got the numbers, but we have the quality. And quality, like it or not, I think history shows that quality eventually does get through. And it may be difficult. And there are going to be hoops that I will have that Cervantes, who wrote Don Quixote, didn't have. But by the same token, I have advantages in other ways that the Cervantes didn't have. I can put my books out on Amazon. Last year, my wife and I combined made about $220 from Amazon, which means we probably sold 50 or 60 books combined or something like that, maybe 80. But slowly but surely, hopefully you get out there. Hopefully someone might, like I said, do maybe this interview is watched by someone who is a documentary maker and says, I'd like to talk more to this Schneider guy myself and see what he has to say, because I think that he's saying things that need to be said. Who knows? But my sitting here and not doing anything, my not writing, my just complaining that I work for a shitty company and I have a psychopath that I work with that terrorizes the people in my company. Everyone has that. Everyone has that. Everyone has a bad relative who's a pain in the ass. Everyone has a boss who's an asshole. Everyone has an ex-girlfriend or an ex-boyfriend who's a nut job.
Yeah, absolutely. But and this is related to my next topic. Before that, I'll just share an anecdote. What you said, the stupidity of the people. When I landed in Canada, just after a few days, you must be knowing Jehovah's Witness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so those guys came to my door, like I was living with this guy, his name was Harold Black, so I would stay with in his house in the basement. So they came and they took me, and I went, I went along because they gave cakes and cookies and all those things. But and it was a big congregation, like 1,800 people, and they just sat there and they started watching this Real Housewives of New York or reality television show or something, So, you're right. It does seem very pessimistic that the majority of human beings, not just in America, everywhere. And that's why I said, maybe I'm relating it to the internet, but it could be other things also. But I would think that 85 to 90% of the human population is just stupid, dumb fucks.
So humanity is filled with dumb fucks. I tend to agree. But like I said, it's very easy to get flustered. My wife goes through emotional traumas that I call sort of plathy and stuff. And I try not to worry about it. I try, unless someone like some coworker or some online harasser or stalker goes out of their way, I try not to take things personally. It's very easy to get wrapped up in yourself. I try to take the big picture. Like I said, I look at myself as a temporary vessel, almost like a
Mm,
prism. That as
mm,
an artist, artists are prisms that, like I said, we don't reflect, but we refract the
mm,
universe. We make it easier for other people to understand things that come easily to us. If we're a great
mm,
artist, people like
mm.
Melville or Kubrick, people like Elizabeth Barrett Browning that I mentioned.
Have you heard of the painter Paul Gauguin?
Yeah, yeah.
This yeah, so he was also like I mean I don't know I like his paintings, but he's also like Van Gogh, right? Like not remembered, forgotten, and
Oh no,
only
no.
after his death.
Gauguin is a big name. Gauguin, was he the guy who went to the South Seas?
Yeah, Tanning
Yeah,
Leaves, right?
yeah, yeah. He was a friend of Van Gogh. So I mean, he's not quite as well known as Van Gogh, but I mean,
Yeah.
he's hardly obscure, in the painting world.
No, I mean I meant in his lifetime. But,
Oh, I think he was a bit more well known than Van Gogh, but I don't think he was as well known as say Manet or Monet.
hmm, all right, okay, all right. So I'll go back to my next question. Now this is a question. It's a bit personal, and I ask this to people, and it offends them.
Okay.
Uh,